Sheep paddocks on a North Canterbury farm have been repurposed to bring joy to the festive season. Cosmo Kentish Barnes is in Swannanoa to find out more.
My name's Andrew McAllister and we're at Needlefresh Christmas Tree Farm.
And how many hectares of Christmas trees have you got here?
There's 22 hectares of land and we've got about 9 hectares in trees.
Why did you start growing Christmas trees? Did you see there was a gap in the market?
When I was overseas in my early 20s, I was working in Denmark and Scotland on Christmas tree farms, and I'd be busy working there and brainstorming ideas that I could do when I came home, and one of them was growing Christmas trees. And then saved up, bought 10 acres, a 4-hectare block, and put trees on that as soon as I got back home from my OE, and then eventually we put a house on there, outgrew that property, and in 2016 we moved down to here. It's about 10 k's further east towards Christchurch. Better location, more land, and all around better location.
So is this land good for growing Christmas trees?
Yep, no, it's pretty good. It's free draining soil here. They don't like getting wet feet. They get root rot and die. We still get a little bit of that, but not much. But overall, it's real suited for growing Pinus radiata. And so we top them up with fertiliser, because obviously we're taking trees off the ground continuously each year, and it's rotation, so we plant and harvest every year on the same ground. So It's pretty hard on the land.
And how long does it take to grow a tree to the right size?
When we get the seedlings, they're a year old from a local nurseryman, and then they are on the property for around about 3.5 to 4 years for probably 90% of the harvest. And the other trees we sell as deluxe trees, the bigger, higher range trees, and they could be anywhere sort of 6 or 7 years.
Yes. Oh, well, let's go and have a look at some of these trees. So the trees here range from, a metre to about 3 metres?
Yeah, I guess we could sort of say probably more like 1.5 is probably the smaller trees we sell. And a 1.5 metre tree, it's probably only been on the property for 1.5 years. But the bulk of our crop, our standard cut, is all between 2.2 and sort of 2.5 metres. The smaller trees are $40. That's up to about 1.8 metres, and $45 for the trees that are slightly bigger.
And how many trees are you expecting to sell?
What we generally do each year is cut off at a certain point, because we try to retain a certain amount of trees for the following year for our larger tree market. But we'll move anywhere between sort of 3,000-4,000, something like that.
And you don't only sell them from the farm here?
No, this was probably half of our market. We have 2 pretty decent sites in Christchurch that we've been pretty well established at. One site for 20 years, believe it or not, that's the Eastgate Mall site. And we haul trees in there each morning, occasionally top it up throughout the day.
Once the Christmas tree season's over, when do you start planting new seedlings?
We get into the tree planting, when is it? It's like July, August, winter.
So there's a bit of a break.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't get a spade in the ground here at the moment.
It's pretty hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And there's ongoing maintenance with the trees. Obviously, they don't grow like this naturally. If we just put them in the ground and left them, they'd be very branchy, and most customers would be disappointed with what they get.
Oh, so do you hand shape the trees?
Yeah, we do. We go through every tree a number of times throughout the year. It's a pretty intense job, but some good, strong lads that help out. We make it happen pretty quickly. And there's obviously general maintenance for the land throughout the year.
Yes, and even though it's the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, there's a trickle of cars coming and going, and a couple have just picked up a tree. Well, in fact, they didn't pick it up, they cut it down themselves.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of hand saws available on site for people that want to go and cut their own tree out. I think for a lot of people that's part of the experience. We might turn up and say, do you want some help? And they decline, quite happy to battle away with a blunt old $10 Balco saw from Mitre 10. But we've got the 4-wheeler there, and we've got a little electric steel chainsaw and a saber saw and different things that we offer to cut people's trees. If they get a deluxe tree, it's definitely in the chainsaw and the 4-wheeler with the trailer. Those trees are pushing 100 odd kg. They're big, heavy trees, but some people maybe don't understand how big they are until they get them in their house.
Well, already there are quite a few stumps around us, aren't there?
Yep. It was an early start. It was busy on the last weekend of November. Well, actually, we've been open, probably been trading for about 9 or 10 days now. Yeah.
And is this a good money earner?
Yeah, no, it goes well. We've been, like I said, we've been in it a fair while now, and it's grown into being well supported by we get people coming up from Ashburton, and believe it or not, I tied a tree on for a lady that was heading to Greymouth yesterday. So they were coming over here for an appointment, bought their tree, and took it back to Greymouth. So Yeah.
Your trees are all over the South Island.
Yeah, they seriously are. The weekend we just had, the 1st of December it was Sunday the 1st of December, and it's always different every year with the dates, how they all unfold for us. And I sort of sent out a text to a few staff and the Saturday night, just to warn them that I think we're in for a big day, and I think it was a record day for the farm. Yeah, it was very, very busy.
Now I can see a couple of paddocks of crops beyond the block of Christmas trees. What are you growing there?
That's pretty exciting, actually. That's a new venture we've got happening. I was looking for different opportunities to work with the land here. Traditional lamb grazing and cutting hay and whatnot doesn't really stack up. So we've actually got some sunflowers planted, quite a decent chunk of sunflowers, and also a maize. So it's a silage maize crop that's being created as a maize for the public to come out and enjoy. So
you're making an actual maze for people to get lost in.
Exactly, to get lost in. Yeah.
That's a good idea. I can't think of any other outdoor mazes around here.
No, there's not. There was one out in Hallswell, and then the motorway went through that. They were renting that land off the government. So that's shut down. So that's what we're doing. The sunflowers will only last for about 3 to 4 weeks. So that'll be pretty cool. They're due to bloom roughly, they've got about a 90-day flowering period.
What will you do with the sunflowers?
The birds will have a pretty good feast. We'll do pick your own blooms or heads. That'll be part of it, and then we'll probably put that through the chopper and we'll mulch it back into the ground.
So it's all geared up towards getting people here onto the land.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, part of it's to like bring a city to the country, and the maize and the sunflowers, it's going to be an affordable attraction. We've got loads of room for parking. We'll have a little kiosk with some, cold drinks and ice creams, but it's going to be pretty low key at this stage. But North America, it's massive over there, and that's the main plant used to create a maize play or maize.
So when it comes time to harvest, You'll harvest the maize for what? For cattle feed?
It's going to a local dairy farmer. Yeah, it'll be sold per kilo of dry matter. It'll be a high yielding crop because we're giving it everything it needs in terms of nutrition. It's getting water. It was put in quite early, a little bit of frost risk, but we managed to avoid the frosts, and we're hoping to get open for the summer holidays, January. So we're sort of pushing the boat out there. Whether or not it'll be high enough, we won't know, but at the end of the day, it'll be what it'll be.
Yeah. So what sort of maize design have you gone for?
Well, when we drill the maize, we cross-stitch it, so we double the rate of seed to try to bulk up the crop, so it's not so easy for kids to walk through, as in cheat. It's a real headache to get your head around. Actually, it took quite a bit of time. I was fortunate to get a little bit of help with it. You're removing rows effectively, but it all has to be mathematically even. So when you get to the end of the field, your maize design is finishing at the same time. So it's quite hard to explain.
When you're in it, will it be straight lines as opposed to curves and
Absolutely.
circles?
So everything's taken out left and right angles and straight lines. Yeah.
Do you think that it might be quite challenging for some people to find their way to the centre and out?
Yeah, I mean, I got confused trying to get back out with the ride-on mower after I'd hacked out lines. I was getting lost. Obviously, I can't just drive anywhere. I can't damage the crop. So it'll get people thinking, that's for sure.
Excellent. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
So lots of things on the go here.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's sort of, I'm kind of in a bit of a sweet spot with staff at the moment, between my kids and my partner's kids. Like, they're ideal employees to have around, and they all want an opportunity, so it keeps them busy, keeps my job slightly easier. So it's pretty cool.
That was North Canterbury Christmas tree grower Andrew McAllister. Since Cosmo recorded that story, Andrew's sold out of trees, but the maize and pick your own sunflowers are due to open on or around January 6th at the Tram Road Farm in Swannanoa.